friends, Junior Baker Jason Nista here of 3 generations of Italian bakers fame. Today we're going to show you how to make grilled pizza. Let's get started. We'll begin by getting a homemade sauce together. In a large pan I have some extra virgin olive oil heating up. To it I'll add half of a yellow onion and we'll sweat that down for a little bit. Then we'll add some fresh cut garlic to that and a San Marzano crushed tomatoes. To that mixture we're going to add some fresh basil, plenty of salt and pepper, and we'll have a basic tomato sauce. We're going to leave the sauce to simmer on low all day long. While that's simmering, we're going to go ahead and get started on the dough. We're going to use the age-old Nista family secret pizza recipe, and I'm going to tell you how to make the dough. To get it started, we're going to start with 1 cup of white flour, 1 cup of warm water, not too hot or you'll burn the yeast, 1 package of rapid rise yeast, and 2 teaspoons of sugar. We'll combine all that in our KitchenAid mixer and let it rest. We have all the ingredients here in our KitchenAid mixer. We have it set to low. We're going to let this beat until it's about the consistency of pancake batter and then let it rest for a half hour. The dough's been resting for about a half hour. You can see that it's starting to bubble up. That means that the yeast has been activated and it's ready to move to the next step. To this mixture, we're going to add 2 teaspoons of salt, a tablespoon of olive oil, and then about 1.5 cups of flour until it comes to a nice dough consistency. As you can see, we've switched to the dough hook now. Slowly adding flour little by little, we now have a dough ball in the middle. We'll let this all come together and then we'll have to knead it by hand. Now that the dough has formed a dough ball, I've gone ahead and greased my hands up with flour. And we have to still knead this by hand. I have a nice floured surface here, and I'm going to work the dough into the surface. Adding flour along the way. This is a little bit of a sticky dough, but you want to add just enough flour so it's not sticking to the surface itself. You want to do this for about 5 minutes until you have a nice elastic dough. I've worked the dough for about 5 minutes now by hand. At this point we have to let the dough rise. We'll take the dough over to a large bowl that we've covered with olive oil. Make sure we roll the dough so that it's totally covered in oil so it doesn't stick to the bowl. I turn the oven on for just a minute or two to preheat it to about 375 and then I cut it off. So the temperature in the oven is about 100 degrees right now. I'm going to cover this bowl with saran wrap and put the dough in the oven for about an hour. Alright, our dough's almost done rising. It's time to get the grill started. Over here I have a normal gas Weber grill. I have my pizza stone that I got at our local shop here. Pizza stones are made for ovens, so they're not made for this kind of temperature. It's really important that we warm the stone up really slowly. I have my gas on ultra low and I'll spend 20 or 30 minutes really heating my grill. Now I have refabricated our grill here. I took it over to my local fabrication shop and they cut the front off this. Now what this is going to allow us to do is it's going to allow us to convection bake this pizza so it'll be more like a real wood-fired pizza. We'll be able to trap the heat in there, we'll be able to work inside with the pizza dough, but create a really fast, really nice and crisp dough. The dough's been in the oven for about an hour now. We're going to take it out. And you can see it's about double in size, which is perfect. Punch it down, let all the air out of it. And now we'll divide this dough up probably into about 3 or 4 pizzas that are 12 inches each. Alright, we've taken 1/4 of the dough here, and now I'm going to just want to stretch it out by hand. It's still warm, you might want to let it rest for a little bit if it's too hot. I've got a lot of flour here on the countertop and plenty of space to work. We're going to be making a Neapolitan pizza today, so we're really going to want to stretch this thing out nice and thin and make sure our crust is real crispy. So I've got my dough nice and rolled out thin. I'm going to come over. Our sauce has been over here all day long. It's ready to roll. Now you want to make sure that you don't add too much sauce. Too much sauce will make the dough end up really soft and gooey, so we just want a really thin layer of sauce, and you'd be surprised how far this will go. Good. we've got some fresh mozzarella here. Just going to throw a few gobs of that on. Obviously we're making a very traditional margherita pizza here. And that's all set. A little bit more. I have some fresh grated Parmesan and Romano blend here. We'll go ahead and throw a little bit of that on there as well. A little bit of garlic salt. Maybe a couple fresh basil leaves as well, just to make it look nice. And she's ready for the grill. Alright folks, night has befallen us here in beautiful Wilmington, North Carolina. We gave our grill a real good 30 minutes to heat up. The stone is really nice and hot, and we'll go ahead and put that pizza on there. One quick motion off the peel, and I will keep a close eye on it. Everybody's grill is going to be a little bit different. Mine here only has 2 burners and it's really slow, probably about 5 to 7 minutes before it's done. We've been real patient with this one. It's been about 10 minutes. Pull it on out of there. Oh, look at that za! And that's a grilled Neapolitan style pizza. Thanks for joining us today. We look forward to seeing you in the next episode of 3 Generations of Italian Bakers.